Okay, today we've got all four of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I guess it's called the Classics line. I'll be sure to put the right name in the title and in the description, but yeah, I think it's called Classics or Retro. Like most kids growing up in the 80s, I was really into the Ninja Turtles, and I think I had He-Man and other ones too, but I think the Turtles were like when I really started collecting figures. Like I think they were the first line where I was really trying to collect a whole bunch of them and get really specific characters and stuff like that. So it's kind of fitting now that they came out with these guys based on those original ones, and I was sure to get all four brothers. We'll just take. I don't have the packages. I've had these for a little while, so I don't have the packages or anything. But we'll just take a look at the individual turtles. Just kind of go over what they've got. So the first one I got was Michelangelo, so I'll use him to show off the articulation and things like that. Now you'll notice my turtles all have white eyes. I did that for a few reasons. One, you might know that there was some problems where, especially on Donatello, where the way they painted the eyes, it just didn't look right. Like they were spaced oddly. Some of them were okay, like Raphael was a bit better. Michelangelo, I don't think he was too bad, but they all were spaced kind of oddly. From some angles they looked okay, but I think just because of the shape of their head in general, it just didn't look right. So I went ahead and I painted all their eyes white. But also because if you look at the original Turtles figures, they all had white eyes. And then if you look at a lot of the original Turtles art, not in the show itself, but on the packaging and a lot of products and stuff, they usually drew them with white eyes until a little bit later when they started becoming more and more popular, and then they would add pupils just to make them a little more kid-friendly and goofy looking. So that's another reason why I gave them white eyes, just to remind me of that old packaging and to make them a little bit closer to the original figures that they're based off of. Because these are sort of a weird amalgamation of the show and the original toys. Anyways, other than that, I haven't done anything to change them. So Michelangelo, he's got two pairs of his nunchucks. The other ones are in there with nice metal chains. Actually, it's kind of cool that they did that. They went all the way out and gave them that. As far as articulation goes, all the turtles, I think they all have the same body, just different head sculpts, and their belts and things are a little different. But they've got pretty good range. They've got two kind of shoulder parts, this armpit twist, and then they've got this kind of ball jointed thing going on here. Then they've got their elbow. They've got a wrist, and then they even have individual finger movement. They're all separate, and then the thumb, let's see if I can zoom in on this. Don't know how close I can get. The thumb is kind of interesting because it can go up and down, but it can also go in and out, which is really good for when holding the weapons. And same thing with the toes. They got cute little toe joints, woo woo woo, as well as ankle, and yeah, not side to side there, and knee, and then two hip joints. They've got that cut one there, and then they've also got the general kind of crotch hip joint. And they've got this chest cut there, which is nice. I don't know. A lot of Turtles figures were just flat there, but this adds a lot of extra life to them. And also in their neck, they got a bit of movement there. Each of them, as you can see, have a different skin tone. But aside from that, it's just the heads. I wish they had have given them each two heads. Considering that the bodies are pretty much all the same, I they could have put a little extra effort into giving them each a more like happy, kind of fun-loving head, and then these serious ones, because they've all got some kind of... Michelangelo's the only one that's not showing teeth, but they've all got some kind of a grimace or something going on, and it would have just been nice to have that option instead of them always being so serious. Although, if it's one or the other, I prefer the serious ones. So yeah, he comes with both those. Oh, and each of them, I'll just have one here, but each of them come with this stand. Obviously, it's Donatello's, which is cool. This is all raised up. It's all actually there. And so you can use that to, you know, stand each guy up. He's got his own name, and this is all raised up, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's Michelangelo. He's got his M going on. Then we've got Leonardo. He's got his little teeth showing. He's got his katanas. Let's see. Yeah. It's kind of a funny choice. They decided to make the handles of each of their weapons match their bandana, whereas in the shows and every other version, usually it's just brown on all of them. I don't mind. It's not a big problem. But he's got his two katanas, and they both sheath into the back, which is cool. And because of the good articulation, now you can have him posed with pulling it out or something like that, which is very neat. There's a close-up on his face. You can see the weird kind of middle area texture. Creepy. And if you want, this pops off normally pretty easy when I'm not talking about it. Yeah, there we go. That can pop out and then just pops back in. No problem. So there's Leonardo. Got his L going on. Otherwise, everything's the same as Michelangelo. Donatello, same deal. He's got his little angry face. He's got his bow staff, or his bow, I guess you could say. This one's the proper colors. Just brown and the white. I'm glad they didn't go with purple. They just went with white. And then he's got his D on the back. His bow, just like in the old ones, slides in there nice. Stays in there really well. Yeah. And then we've got Raphael. Now, in the old movies and in the old comics, and maybe sometimes in the cartoons, you know, with a sai, you usually don't, I'm no expert on them, but you usually don't hold them by the handle there. You'll have them in a lot of different ways, but in the show and in the movie and everything, he holds it in different ways. And I would try to do that with my old figures when I was a kid, and I could never get him to do it, so now he finally can hold it in interesting ways, which is cool. He's got the most angry face, because he's the angriest. Oh, Raphael, you're so angsty. But he looks really good. His size, they fit in the front nicely. Get his arm out of the way. There we go. Yeah, he looks really good. And that's it. That's the turtles. They're great. I got Michelangelo. I wasn't even planning on getting all four of them, but once I had him, I had to do all the brothers together. It just didn't feel right having one of them all by themselves on the shelf. They're great. And I hear they're making Bebop and Rocksteady. Actually, there's pictures of them, Bebop and Rocksteady. It's strange that they would make them before Splinter or April or Shredder or something. And I'm really hoping that Bebop and Rocksteady sell enough so that we can get a proper, at least a proper Splinter or proper Shredder or April, or Krang or something like that. Because at least Splinter, they deserve to have their father around, don't they? Yeah, that's right. Anyways, that's the turtles. If you have any questions about them or comments, leave it below and I'll try to answer what I can. I can't hold on to all these guys. There we go. Cowabunga. Bye-bye.